The first thing I'm going to do is use the install guide to mark the holes that I'll be installing riv nuts in. I made sure to mark which holes are already there, aka factory holes, and which ones I'll need to come back and match drill with the rails installed. Once my holes are marked, it's time to expand them to 10 millimeters to fit the riv nuts. Using a step-up bit on my drill, I carefully expand each hole. I have one of the riv nuts with me to test fit the holes as I go. One tip, test your step-up bit on a non-essential hole before getting started. Especially if you have a new bit, it could cut through your sheet metal too quickly and you'll end up with a hole much bigger than you need. And remember, always wear your safety goggles. Next, after sweeping away metal shards and cleaning the holes with some alcohol, I'm going to treat all the holes with rust prevention paint. And now comes the fun part. Once the paint is dry, I'm going to come around with my pneumatic riv nut gun and install the riv nuts in all my treated holes. We have a separate video breaking down exactly how to use a pneumatic gun because getting the swing of it can be tricky. We also recommend testing your gun with some of the extra riv nuts we sent you. If you're looking for advice on the best guns to purchase, check out our blog post on our favorite Featherbuilt install tools that's linked below. With the factory riv nut holes installed, I can now install the rails so that I can match drill the last few riv nuts. Your rails should come with labels telling you exactly where you should match drill. We do the best we can to approximate a good spot to match drill, but if you find that our pre-drill location doesn't match your van's sheet metal, feel free to install a riv nut in a place that works better for you. During this install process, I had a couple screws that were getting cross-threaded in riv nuts that weren't installed perfectly, so I used a 1/4 tap to reset the riv nut and continued with the install. Once my rails were all in place and lined up with each other, I'm going to come back with a 4mm bit and make a pilot hole that lines up with the match drill location on the rail. Now I need to uninstall my rails so that I can come back and install riv nuts in those last few spots following the same riv nut install steps as before. First, we step up, then we clean, then we treat the holes, then we sweep, then we take a coffee break while the paint dries, and finally it's time to install those last rail riv nuts.